Let's see what he's talking about. And side note, if I rip off anything that is in this video, it's okay because I already was planning to do this series anyway. So this is like technically research.
Hello, everybody. It's your boy Joseph Rothschild, aka.
He makes non-mass video content. He makes
we are back
or deck videos
with
sometimes.
another Twitter thread. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. We're recording this on Valentine's Day, and you're all here, huh? Anyway, today we are talking about noob traps. These are cards that, to a new Yu-Gi-Oh player, look absolutely busted, and to a seasoned Yu-Gi-Oh veteran, look like absolute ass. Obviously, the prototypical example of this type of card is Blue Eyes Chaos Max.
I still say that this card is good at a vacuum. And again, like, don't look at this card and compare it to like current cards, because this card didn't come out yesterday. This card came out in 2016, I think. And it's like, yo, Chaos Max is still pretty good. You know, untargeting, non-destruction, double piercing damage, 4,000 attack. Like, bro, it's a good card. I mean, is it like meta successful on like a high level? No, but it doesn't make the card bad. You know what I mean? It should. Yeah. That's my thing. Is like this card should have been insane, chat, and it just wasn't. And my video is more of a recap of like why and its history and yada 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 and how it could have been successful. I don't think I actually put that last part in my video, but the video is coming out anyways because I made this shit a year ago. But let's see because I was asking on Discord like, okay, guys, what are some other examples? And I couldn't get a single one, Dire. I couldn't get a freaking single one. I was like, come on, just give me one example, guys, of a card that like theoretically is insane, but just like not good in practicality or was not successful. And I was like, maybe the Neo-Spacian fusion monster, chat. The one, because I think there's like one that banishes like the whole field. I think there's one that like draws a bunch of cards, but like definitely one of those cards. Dragoon, yeah, but I already did a video on that. Yeah, I already did. The Cyber Dart fusion, no, I think that card sucks because like, doesn't it require? You're talking about the new one, right? The new Cyber Dart fusion. I feel like that it just has like one negate on it, right? Yeah, I feel like that one's actually just not that good. Let's see. The one from the one from the structure deck. The problem with this, because there's like two of them, right? I think the problem with this one, like they didn't have any protection. Like that's the problem with them. If these cards had this one requires five Cyber deck effect monsters, was like, how the fuck am I doing that? And then this one requires two very specific monsters. 10,000 Majestic Star Dragon. Most of these monsters are going to be boss. Wait, is this this is the cover card of Dawn of Majesty, I think. It requires Majestic Star. Because all these new Yusei cards suck, but like one of them should have been good, right? Once per turn, you can negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls. This card gains one additional attack each battle phase for every monster in your graveyard that is Stardust Dragon or a Synchro monster with Stardust Dragon in its text. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can banish this card, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. This seems not bad. 4,000. This seems not bad. You're reading. Wait, what do you guys say? How did I read this wrong? It says must first be. Wait, you guys saying I'm reading the wrong card? Which one am I supposed to be reading? Majestic Dragon. This one cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a majestic. How is this supposed to be good? That shooting star. Majestic Star Dragon. Oh, this one. Where's this one from? I feel like all of these are cover cards. So what set is... It's not... This looks like a 5Ds card. But it's 38. That's kind of high. It's super... Oh, it's from Stardust Overdrive. Okay, I'm like, that looks like a 5Ds card. During either player's turn, when an opponent activates a card or effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Wow. That actually is pretty good. Oh, wait. It requires... So it requires that shitty tuner plus Stardust and another monster. Jeez. But this card does seem kind of crazy, chat. So it's an Omni Negation, and it blows the field up. Once per turn, you can start one face-up monster your opponent controls, negate its effects at the end of the turn. And you can activate one of these effects as this card's effect. During the end phase, target one Stardust Dragon in the graveyard. Return this card from the field to the extra deck. Wait, what? Why the fuck would I want to do that? Now you're losing me. Why would I ever want to give... During the end phase, target one Stardust Dragon in your graveyard. Return this card from the field to the extra deck. Then some... Why the fuck would I ever want to do that? Anime mechanics. I mean, I just don't... Like, the rest... Like, this card was busted until this part. Like, why would I want to give up this card for Stardust Dragon? Thank you for the raid, Superb Pat Raider. Thank you so much. I appreciate that raid. Thank you for the hearts. Hopefully your stream was great. Pat Mahobes. Maybe, chat. Here, I guess since we never got any good suggestions, we'll just watch the MBT video and go from there. But I kind of get that card. I can't even say what do you guys think is going to be in the video because no one has given me any Galaxy. But which one? Which Galaxy eyes? There's like 15 cards.
Dragon. Something he's not playing it. This card's not good, but it can't be targeted, it can't be destroyed, and it inflicts double piercing. If you attack a zero defense monster, that's the whole game over. Unfortunately, a significant amount of removal spells don't target, don't remove, and a lot of things can just walk over this monster as well. You would have to be an absolute idiot to lose to this card. So let's see what you all came up with. But first, this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. It takes the worst parts out of cooking and makes it simple and easy.
How many legitimate common outs are really for... Like, how many common outs are there for Chaos Max? Like, right now in the format. And then again, like, by 2016 standards? Because I feel like most of them don't even exist. Right? I feel like, because my first one was like talents, access code. If you're saying attack over, the only one that qualifies is access code, right? Like no one else, people aren't playing 5,000 attack monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the extra deck, talents, goddess, okay, fair enough. But like, I don't know, I feel like you can't look at a 2016 card and try to like define it by 2024 standards, because the card's almost a decade old. And it's like, yeah, but all the cards you guys are naming, like none of those existed in 2014. There was no talents. There was no access code. There was like Madoche Tiramisu. You know what I mean? But we're playing it. I know. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm like, hold up. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
You're looking to stay healthy.
Super Poly and Shadows. Okay, yeah. Super Poly. I'm just
this
saying.
year, HelloFresh has more options to support your wellness journey than ever before.
I'll watch
Dig into their biggest menu yet, with over 45 dinner options and even more market items that suit any lifestyle.
Those are better
if you're like me and have a schedule too busy to spend time cooking, try HelloFresh's lineup of quick and easy meals, including 15-minute recipes designed to minimize stress and maximize time spent savoring your supper. Not a morning person?
I have no problem with this ad. I'm just going to say, I feel like this is just not the demographic for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players chat. Or excuse me, I feel like we're just not the demographic for this product. Like, have you guys gone to events? Seriously, have you guys met Yu-Gi-Oh! Players? They're like the most we're just not. This is just not. We're not the demographic for this. We just aren't. You know what I mean? We spend money on card, but no, I mean, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Players spend money on food, but like a better sponsorship would be like fucking KFC or McDonald's or something, where it's just like, here's my $8, give me a burger, give me give me chicken or something, like, you know what I mean? Cooking fresh vegetables. I don't know if that's...
Do you struggle to get yourself going? Do you keep missing the Tuesday streams? Well, HelloFresh is also here to kickstart a new year of nutritious and delicious recipes to beat the morning blues with free breakfast. You heard that right. When you join HelloFresh, you will get free breakfast for life. That's really what they're offering? We're talking about one completely free breakfast item packed into your HelloFresh box as long as your subscription is active. I cook
MBT
pretty
has a
frequently with my
functional
wife,
UV
and
odds.
HelloFresh takes
Sure
all
he
the worry
does.
about what's in the fridge away,
Sure he
leaving us with the
does.
fun of cooking delicious meals together. Their pre-portioned ingredients in the box and simple recipes make cooking an enjoyable activity for anyone. Click the link in the description or scan my QR code and use the code MBTFREE to get free breakfast for life.
It
One breakfast item
rhymes.
per box as long as your subscription is
can't-
active.
why not,
This
Anime Night?
is a pretty good answer. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Draw discharge. When your opponent draws a card or cards by their own effect, look at those cards, and if any are monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined attack. Huh? Oh, I guess if they draw multiple cards and they're multiple monsters. Okay. And if you do that, banish all cards you looked. Oh, yo. Hey, this that part kind of saved it. I'm not gonna lie. This kind of, so you activate Extrav, draw 2, you draw Lady and Lovely, and I burn you and then banish both. It's kind of sussy. I like it. Interesting.
Scarlon said, I had a random one copy of this card from a pack when I first got into the game.
Yeah,
when I
that is
first got
Usagi.
into the game. Scarlon, this card came out in 2020. Anyway, this card is like an updated version of
Zoomer.
Drop Off. You remember that card that caused all those ruling problems? Well, guess what? We made another one. When your opponent draws a card by their own card effect, look at those cards, and if any are monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to their combined attack. And if you do that, banish all cards you looked at. It's like a really strong Mind Crush style effect. Absolutely unplayable because it doesn't get cards that are added. So close, and yet this card...
Oh my god!
No, it's...
This is an actual good one. Oh my goodness, chat. Yo. Do you guys know like all the discussions on witches? Yo, but if I resolve it, I win though. You know what? That one's actually going on the board. Yeah. That never did anything. Yeah. Witch's Strike is actually good. Yeah. I've actually had someone resolve this against me. Triff resolved this against me when I was playing Eldritch. I feel like I saw him one of his cards, and then he responded with Witch's Strike and a new chain. I just lost the game on the spot. I had the idea first. I did. After watching this video. Susty.
Gotta be good. It has tops. If your opponent negates the normal or special summon of a monster or the activation of a card or effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls and in their hand. When this was released, this is all anyone was doing, was negating the activation of a card or effect. And it's...
I don't think Heat Wave's that good. Cause like I don't like cards, chat, that like, I guess the problem with Heat Wave is like, oh, you say, oh, your opponent's not playing for a turn. Cool, but neither are you. So what have you done? Like, the difference between something like Heat Wave and Shifter is like there's decks like Flu and Cash that they can still do their entire combo under Shifter. Like, what deck can combo or like do anything under Heat Wave? Like, you can't do anything. Your opponent can. Guru, I feel like it's just better floods to play. Honestly, like there's just better floods to play.
Still,
and honestly, that one might come up in this video.
Balls. The huge problem with this card is that, of course, if your opponent has one negation, probably have a second. Oh man, you're telling me every time I
That's
perform
another
combat,
good one. Oh my god, chat. I ride hard for Supply Squad. Every single time a card is destroyed, you draw a card. I'm like, bro, it's a +1 after a turn. How is this card not this? Because this is I feel like this came out in Duelist Genesis or like around that time, because I was like, yo, this card's gonna be busted in Burning Abyss. You just like summon a BA monster and they blow themselves up and you draw a card and then like your Skarm like activates in the graveyard. This is I kind of like that idea. I don't know how long these videos are gonna be, but yeah, kind of like this one.
I'm gonna get to draw a card.
Oh, it is from Duelist Alliance. It is from Duelist Alliance, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, Supply Squad, I feel like it came out around, if it didn't come out around Duelist Alliance, chat, that was like the time it was talked about, was around that time, like Duelist Alliance. And it's like these cards that seem so good in theory, chat, like Shard, you guys know like Shard of Greed? It's like, man, these cards are just like, you can't even say they're too slow. Well, Shard of Greed's probably too slow, but like Supply Squad replaces itself instantly. Supply Squad should have been
Ever
so
stand
good.
up to that raw amount of card advantage.
Yeah.
This poster is absolutely correct. This card featured in pretty much every player's first deck, but it also exposed a significant amount of the Yu-Gi-Oh community as noobs because when it was released, like 40% of the player base tried it. Less of a noob trap and more of a noob strat. I feel like every aspiring deck builder has a phase where they think to themselves, you know what, with all the insane equalizers and going second tools, what if I just play a pure go second OTK deck only to be met with a cycle of failure? Listen, everyone picks up Gren Maju. The mark of a good duelist is putting it down. Dude, it's basically a free negate. What are they going to do with one extra card? The dark...
Hold up, bro. Hold up. I know we're not trashing Dark Bribe. I know we're not trashing Dark Bribe. That has been played in numerous Shonen Jump winning decks. Come on now. Come on. We seriously trashing Dark Bribe. Dark Bribe and Upstart. Ha. Funny. Dark Bribe and Upstart. Dark Bribe has been played in like how many? The Mystic Mind deck, chat. I'm pretty sure the dude played the Mystic Mind deck, the one that like won the YCS before it got banned. I'm pretty sure he played Dark Bribe. Like Dark Bribe is actually good. Dark Bribe used to, yeah. I'm saying like, okay, Dark Bribe was like actually what used to be incredibly good, and then even when it was like not that good, chat, it was still like situationally good. In decks like Mystic Mind Stun, Runic Stun, basically like these stun decks that just play different Yu-Gi-Oh. So like I'm not feeling the Dark Bribe hate. Like come on now, is Dark Bribe S tier? No, but it's not bad.
Dark Bribe is really a bell curve. Noobs on one hand are like, just negate their most important thing. What are they going to do with one extra card? The people in the middle are like, Yu-Gi-Oh is a card game full of one-card combos. Drawing them into a card probably assures that they'll be able to follow up with exactly the same thing you just tried to stop. And then at the other end of the bell curve, it's, dude, just negate their most powerful effect. They're not going to draw it off one card. Nah, man, it doesn't matter if I can't summon for the rest of the turn. How are they going to out it? Obviously, it doesn't see a lot of play now, and it's remembered mostly for its interaction with Verte and Akanda, but it still shocks me how perfectly Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is designed. It is, without question, the ultimate in Dark Magician player mindset. It is surprising that they were able to distill all of that noobery into one beautiful package. A card that no player who thinks that DM is playable would ever be able to determine is secretly quite bad. Strider is 100% correct.
So, I covered this in my video, chat. My biggest flops Dragoon video. I think the real reason Dragoon flopped in the TCG was simply timing. Like the fact that it came out after Rise of the Duelist, and Rise of the Duelist had all these like hard counters for the card, talents, Droplet, Ice Dragon's Prison, Schism, the Dogmatica Fleur de Lis. Like there was like half a dozen counters in one specific set, and the OCG didn't have any of those. So like even though Dragoon was a flop, it wasn't like it's really not absurd that like the OCG banned it and like limited it, and I mean they limited all the cards, which was kind of stupid. They should have just banned it, but what's it called? We were also still in the COVID era. VFD took over. Yeah, like it came out at like a bad time. It's really just funny how that worked, chat. But like if you look at Rise of the Duelist, that set had all these counters to Dragoon that like the OCG didn't have any of those. There was also a big thing about the OCG Dragoon deck. That's another thing. The OCG had Genlock, chat. So like even if you max C an OCG player, it's like cool, but we have Genlock too. So you better have the specific like Book of Eclipse counter to this shit. And if I negate it, you got another Book of Eclipse. You know what I mean? Dragoon is so annoying though. It's so annoying. Well, it's only in the TCG because it's banned in Master Duel and OCG.
Obviously, we all know individuals who are under the impression that Scrap Iron Scarecrow is the best card in the history of time. But
I actually, real time, I love this card, chat. It's like negate an attack and then reset it. Just use it. I love this card.
No individuals who are under the impression that Scrap Iron Scarecrow is the best card in the history of time. But Defense Draw is just one of those cards that you see.
I don't know this. This is obviously like a GX card just based on how old it looks. Plus there's Kaiba Man, I think. During your opponent's turn, at damage calculation, make the battle damage you took from all battles 0, and if you do draw, God. I don't know when this card came out, but if this was like a GX card, this would have definitely saw play. I'm thinking this is like a 5Ds card. Because this card would have, this during like GX, this card definitely would have saw play. You attack me with like a Monarch, cool, take 0, and I draw a card. So it's not like it was, okay, that makes way more sense. Because I'm like, why did this card would have 100% saw play in like GX era, probably even 5Ds, but by Zexal, no. But like this card's actually not bad in theory. What about DPE? I mean, yeah, DPE came out shortly after Dragoon, and when like there was a significantly longer time in the OCG because it came out in Bode. Cap watches a video on bad cards and only wants. I'm just saying. I'm just like, when you look at them and you say they're bad cards, you should at least be able to see like the good in them, but still be able to understand like why they were not successful. Like with this card, VP, it's clearly because this card came out too late. Duelist Genesis. 5Ds? Duelist Genesis. Okay. Anyways, with this card, like I look at this card and I'm like, this card could have been good in GX era. Because GX era was still like a lot of, GX era was like lots of battle traps, chat. Sakaretsu armor, D prison, mirror force, like we were battle trapping it up.
It just comes from individuals who like can evaluate cards, understand card advantage, but don't get that negate an attack or prevent battle damage is an effect you do not give a shit about. I really didn't grasp the concept of most games lasting exactly 3 turns when I was teching this in Marincess. This one caught people again recently with VS. The pinpoint landing resurgence was really funny to me because it was a weird, cool glimpse into the fact that many Master Duel players started playing when Master Duel came out. Card evaluation is a skill that you develop over a course of years, but it was so funny seeing like newer VS players being like, no man, I figured out a sick tech, and then post a card like this, and everyone who was playing when Supply Squad was legal went,
I was gonna say, pinpoint landing, chat, has a very, it's like a parallel to Supply Squad, except Supply Squad is a lot easier to trigger. Hey, don't trash this card until you play Runic Stun, chat. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is don't trash this card until you've played Runic Stun and you floodgate the opponent and then you draw 2 cards every turn for the rest of the game.
Biggest from the past year is Time Tearing Morganite. The card reads crazy. Yeah, all you have to do is not activate monster effects in the hand. You can still activate them on the field. You draw twice. You get to normal summon twice. I saw many players gravitate towards it as a non-engine piece. I even fell into testing it in Flu, but it was never impactful enough. There have been some scenarios in which I think Time Tearing Morganite is playable. I think maybe coping Flu builds and that like awful Runic Stun build. Hey. It's wild seeing newer players evaluate this card and potentially slot it into a position in the deck that should be occupied by like a triple tactics talent. They're like, well, that draws you 2 cards once. This draws you 2 cards every turn. I can swing for how much? Equimax, unfortunately, is definitely a noob trap, but it's also such a fun deck for noobs to play. It's like they really streamlined the experience of hit hard and then play a bunch of removal spells. Kind of a newer one, but absolutely correct. Yeah. New players see it as the most unbelievable.
Huh? This is literally being made in Fire Kings.
Card ever, jam it into everything, then consolidate so many resources they die to 1 imperm instead of understanding a lot of the time she isn't worth it. That's correct. A significant amount of individuals will produce a board that is sticky, hard to break, and then they'll be like, or I could link it all away for exactly Apollosa, and they'll get 1 negate off, and then it'll get walked over by whatever your normal summon is, at which point you can continue to play the game. There are
I feel like he's making 2 different points here. Because to me, this is like players playing bad instead of understanding, I guess, like making a card under the right situation. But like, right, exactly what Rai just said. That he's saying it's a noob trap is Apple. I get that, but like that's not necessarily like what the video has been. The video has been like, these cards are bad because they look good on paper, but in actuality, they're not good, and here's why. Apple does not fit that definition at all. Like, Apple's being made right now. I watched the UDS. There were pro players, quote unquote, pro players making Appaloosa. Like, Appaloosa is still that bitch, chat. Even with other insane boss monsters in the game, like Baron DeFleur, like she's still keeping up. Actually, Shuping, he made Appaloosa for 3, I think. No, not him. It was the Snake Eye versus, it was the Palo match where dude made Appo for like 4 or something like that. So like Appo is still, what's it called? Like, yeah, it's not even Appo. What, Appo's a meta card right now.
There are, of course, scenarios in which this card is unbeatably strong, but a significant amount of the time, and you're going to see this a lot in Snake Eyes, people just see the word negate and they go, oh, it's got to be this, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are so negate pilled. Ugh. Thank God it's not like this anymore. True. But trying to explain a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck to someone in 2019 was disastrous. You would be like, oh yeah, so this is like the resource loop, and they'd be like, how many negates is in your end board? How many negates is your end board? Oh, your end board, how many negates is it? It's like, well, 0. I'm playing Sky Striker. I guess technically Widow Anchor is a negate. They're like, oh, this is not competitive. I can put up 15 negates. And that's why everyone played Pendulum for 4 years and won all those events with it. Now, obviously, this is a good card. But when I started playing again in 2019, I legitimately thought this card was the most broken thing ever and thought it deserved a ban list spot. My whole turn over from one card, unfair. Then I learned how to play the game. True. But I'm going to offer a hotter take than this. I think Ash is not nearly as good as we pretend it is. It's a great card, for sure. It's damn good. It's maybe the best hand trap. But I think there are a significant amount of formats, and I'm not just talking about tier format, because I know you all are thinking I'm talking about tier format, where if you have, let's say, 6 slots in your deck for non-engine, you should not be playing this card. I was watching a Goatee...
I agree with that. I agree with that, chat. She's not on the level, because like I'm building, what's it called? This is a Jesse take. It's not far off. No. I agree with exactly what MBT just said. Ash is not strong enough, chat, in a vacuum to where like if you just have a few non-engine spots, she should be in there, because she's going to be good enough against every deck, but like she's good enough to play against every deck, but she's not good enough to stop every deck. Like right now, chat, I'm building Goatee Runic. I'm not playing Ash. Like I think I have like 6 spots, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna play like 3 talents, and I'm debating if Nib should be my only hand trap, chat, or should I just not play Nib at all and maybe go evenly match, or should I just play Imperm and just like, okay, I can't be talented ever. You know what I mean? She's definitely, she's not an auto include, but I think she can be in most formats. Tier's like one of the only formats where like, I don't know. I'm trying to think if it was worth running Ash in that format at all. But it was only 2 playable decks in that format, so it's hard to evaluate tier format because there's only 2 decks. There's only Flu and Tier, and like she's not being played in Tier, and Flu doesn't play her because like Shifter. So Tier, Spiral, this format, so this format Dire is like to me a little weird to evaluate Ash specifically because of Princess and Hida. Like I will not play Ash this format, chat. I was thinking about this earlier. Unless I was playing a deck like Centurion where I could play a minimum of 15 hand traps. Because like if I want to play Ash and I want to open myself up to like Hida into Princess, like I want to have like Ash, Bell, Veiler turn 1. Like I don't want to just have Ash and nothing else. Like I need to play like 18 hand traps and like open up with a hand of like 4 hand traps plus like Trudia or something like that. You know what I mean? Droll, I don't think Droll's like that good. I don't think Droll's as insane in this format as people think. Nib seems mandatory yet under. Oh my god! I was just thinking that, VP. I thought the same exact thing. I was like, you know what? I was like, is it me, Chad, or does every hand trap seem good and trash at the same time? Watching that event specifically today, I was like, man, Nib seems insane, but also trash. And that's why I was like, yo, maybe I just don't play hand traps. Because I watched, to me, the best card of the metagame, chat, to me, not like specific archetype card, seemed like Triple Tactics Talents. I did not see a player lose when they resolved that. Oh, cool. You Veilered me? Talents. Take your only fucking playable card out. Now I win. Anti-spell, like... The talents just seems I just don't want to play in the talents anymore, just at all. Bring back Gamma. Who said that like 6 months ago or a year ago when they limited Gamma?
Runic profile. And they were talking about what they were playing and why. And it was a lot of really interesting, engaging stuff. And I've always thought this about Runic decks. At the very end, they revealed that they're playing 3 Ash, and they're like, 3 Ash, you gotta. And then they moved on. And I just thought, I was like, why do you gotta?
No, you don't. Like, right, if you're going to play Ash is your only hand trap, like, yeah, it'll be okay against most decks, but like, it's not stopping any deck. So if you go second and you Ash is your only hand, like, it's not stopping anyone, and it's probably not even worth risking it being reborn. Like, you'd probably just do better having a Talents. You know what I mean? Like, if you go first, like, I know you could draw into Ash off Fountain or whatever, but like, I'd rather just have like Talents or some shit like that, and just have like a card that can push through like a board or something, like, than Ash. Because to me, it's like Ash is only good. It's like, it's only insane against like what, original Snake Eye chat, or if they use whichever Snake Eye dude tributes to like summon the Flame Burge guy from the deck. Those are like the only 2 points where like I think Ash is insane. Ash against everything else is like, it's like okay, I guess. Ashing a Wanted, it's like, what's it called? Gamma's too powerful. No, it's not. Like, okay, is Gamma powerful? Yes. But imagine Celsa. Imagine if Gamma was at 3 and right now your opponent activated like the Snake Eye Ash to like tribute 2 guys to summon Flame Burge, and you like Gammaed it. Like, that would feel so good. If like, oh, you use your normal summon, you use your extender, you used all this, and I Gammaed you. I took the bodies off the field. I did not put a fire in the grate. Like, that'd be so, like, bro, Gamma at 3 would be so nice right now.
Position where Ash doesn't.
You auto win with, okay, well, just don't Ash stuff. That's what we're talking. Don't be stupid and Ash stuff.
End the turn. It never does.
Or Gamma
in
their
some
Gamma.
boards, some setups, and some decks, the answer to that is yes, that Ash is the difference between playing an unbreakable board and isn't. But I think oftentimes, if the Ash was any other Runic spell, you would end up at the same conclusion, and when deck building, a Runic spell
You'd
is
be
a lot
better
more
off.
flexible than an Ash is. I think a lot of people fall into that trap, into thinking, no, I have to play Ash. And I think there's a lot of players that are just unwilling to even rankle with the fact that this card might be kind of mid. Dyer's right, and there's a huge consequence to using it right now, because your opponent getting to weave Hita into their lines is a fucking disaster.
To me,
This
it's
is,
not
I
worth
think, a
it
good
right now.
teaching opportunity for people who feel like, oh, I'm not a noob, I don't fall into these types of traps. You can, and likely do. I hope this video has been helpful, not only
It's
for
over.
new players who are now realizing that a bunch of the cards they
I only got like 2 cards.
thought were extremely powerful are actually extremely mid, but also for seasoned players in recognizing that a significant amount of their thought patterns are similar to the people who've been tricked by cards like Blue Eyes Chaos Max. But not me. I'm too smart to fall for that.
Galaxy Eyes. Phobic, you keep saying Galaxy Eyes, but you haven't named what card you're talking about. I'm just gonna type in Galaxy Eyes and Phobic, we got 35 cards, my friend. Which one are you? Well, not all of them are Galaxy Eyes cards. In all fairness, are you talking about the one that the one from the anime, the one that Snatch steals a monster? I wouldn't say that was. I think that's Cypher, right? The little Cypher dragon. I wouldn't say he was broken because he was a rank 8. I mean, it looked cool on the anime though when he summoned it. Good video. He never. What do you mean I never do? Watch the credits. Oh,
I'm the only one brave enough to say it says Dyer. Keep it up, Dyer. We'll get that price down any day. The only one brave. I'm the only one brave enough to say it says Dyer. Keep it up, Dyer. We'll get that price down any day now.
I mean, so that we've talked about this on the stream. The irony is like Bonfire is not even a good. It's not even really a good card. It's only good because of its environment, chat. Like, it's Bonfire is only good because of its environment, not because of the card itself. That is the ironic thing, is, like, as we talked about before, if Bonfire would have been released in GX era, chat, it would have almost, like, it wouldn't have been, well, it definitely would not have been, like, meta relevant during GX, other than, like, the little bit of Volcanic Monarch deck, but for basically 15 years, like, no one would have played it.